Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20 and welcome to episode 85 of Direwolf20's Server Play series. I love automation. That's the title of this episode. Because, as predicted, all the TNTs filled up the mana pools, and we've got large amounts of mana. Nice. So this was full until I decided to fill up my mana tablet, which actually a little bit taken a while, but that's fine. But yeah, dude, everything worked pretty much perfectly. No complaints, right? Totally got tons of mana, tons of good stuff. Today's episode, I'd like to see if I can figure out a creative way to automate the Runic Altar for on-demand crafting of runes. That sound crazy? Might be a little crazy. I don't know if it's even possible with the pack that we have, but let's look at what's required, okay? And I'm saying this right now, and it may very well be in like 5 minutes I'm going to say, you know what, this is too hard, or it's really not even doable, but we're going to find out. Hey, I got my Elven book, that's right, I forgot that I tossed that in there. Greetings! Thank you. All kinds of Elven resources now. So that's neat. So that's cool, I'm excited. What is this blinking thing? Yeah, okay. Thanks. See you later, Blinky. So, what I want to look at is the Runic Altar. Okay. The important information that you need to know is attaching a comparator to it will emit a signal strength of 1 if the altar is accepting mana, and a signal strength of 2 if it's ready to craft the rune. Which means 1 if it's got a recipe that it's happy with. 2 if it means the recipe is done and it's ready for me to drop Living Rock on it. Okay, so, and I think you can right-click the Living Rock on it, can't you? Can you right-click the Living Rock? Just drop or right-click a piece of Living Rock on top of it, then use a wand. Cool. So we might want to experiment with these a little bit. Go explosions, go. So let's start off by thinking about how we're going to pull this off. So we probably want the open crate, right? I'm sure that's still a thing, which is just living wood planks, which luckily I have plenty of. Okay. And we'll put that, like, there. So you would drop items in. I would like it to be a system. So it might, there's a couple ways to do this, right? Like I want the crafter to be able to automate it, right? The problem is if we request multiple items at a time. This is always the problem with Britannia auto crafting, right? So for example, if I requested the Rune of Fire and the Rune of Water at the same time, which is totally feasible if, for example, I requested the Rune of Spring, right? So if I said make a Rune of Spring, it would be like, hey, I have to make Water and Fire, right? So it would start putting wheat, it would start putting saplings in, along with the requirements for the Rune of Fire and the Rune of Water. Crazy stuff. And that's when things get a little bit wonky, right? We're also going to need a vacuum hopper of some kind. What can we use to suck up things? I think there's a vacuum chest. Good. From Ender.io. That will definitely work for me. Pulls nearby items into its inventory. And you can filter that too. So that's cool. And I think you can even redstone signal control it too, which is super cool. So we're gonna have to think for a minute. There's a lot. There's a lot to this build. And it's trickier than it seems at first. It's definitely tricky. So the first thing will be when we say we want to craft, it's going to put a bunch of items in a chest, right? So like say we requested the Rune of Spring. It would put wheat and the saplings and a fishing rod and sugarcane and bone meal and mana, like all these things would go into a chest, right? Of some kind. And then we would need to put the right items into the right Runic Altar in the right order. That's where things get really tricky. So I think one way we might be able to do this is RF Tools Control might come to the rescue. Let's get our programmer. Okay, and it might be cool to go ahead and craft with this, because we could use this crafting system to only send the items over when we know that we have the right amount of items in the inventory. It might get complicated. It might. Alright guys, so my basic plan, this might be a little crazy, but it might work. Maybe. Potentially, possibly. We'll see. Is currently we've got that on-demand crafting system, right? Which I've just kind of broken because I've been moving things around here. Remember that you can basically check for the right amount of ingredients before you proceed with actually doing the crafting. And if not, maybe loop around and craft something else instead, right? Cool. This might work for us. I don't know, because right now it's built for on-demand crafting, and I've not become super versed in RF Tools control. But I think I should be able to way to get it to like run every tick. Well, not every tick, but like every second, maybe. I mean, you can do it on Redstone. Event repeat, event signal, execute program on a signal received from an RF Tool screen. That's probably not going on. Event message for another processor. When a crafting station requests a specific item. And yeah, so I mean, redstone signal might be a way to execute it, but I'm thinking more often I'll probably just want to do every n ticks, right? So I can do like every 20 ticks, which is every second. Now, let's try some things. So in here, we've got the crafting cards, right? Now, how did I set these? Was it just right-clicking them? Yeah, there we go. Regular 3x3 crafting recipes or more complicated recipes. Right. So let's say that we are going to pretend a Rune of Fire. Well, let's not pretend. Let's do it for real, right? So Rune of Fire requires the mana powder, the mana steel, brick, gunpowder, wart. Okay? So brick, the other brick, gunpowder, nether wart, and mana. So that's another gunpowder. And mana steel, right? Whoosh. So if we told you instead of this, hey zombies, what's up? Inventory issues should be surprising no one. Let's take a nap. Right, so we would say nether wart, gunpowder, you, and you yield a Rune of Fire, right? Update. Yield a Rune of Fire. And then we put this in here. Okay, item Rune of Fire. And then if this program was set to run, instead of on demand, we just said repeat every 20 ticks. Cool. Ah, double click to change connector. Nice! That would prevent me from accidentally changing connectors. That's awesome. That's probably super awesome. Cool. And then you are going to say... Really, Creeper? What is up? Tilo is not going to be pleased that you just blew up his base. Not even a little bit. Creeper just wandering in here and saying, hey, usually I say tss, but today I decided not to say tss, so haha. That's not nice. Spruce wood planks. Hey, you are different. Ah. Spruce planks is different from spruce wood planks, apparently. Where was this cobblestone at? Probably here. Tilo's gonna be angry. All fixed. You'd never know, except for the oak thing's missing. I'll fix it later. Oh, that derp. Guessing it was this one. That seems good to me. Okay, cool. So what we were saying, did you blow up the machine I was working in? You are not a nice person. Not even a little bit nice of you to do that, creeper. All right, so let's fix this. The north side, I forget which this needed to be, but we'll figure it out. Down. Item was going to be the Rune of Fire. Slots 0 through, let's say, 8. Destination inventory is up. Cool. So by the way, do you have access to see that right now? Probably not. Okay, so that should be cool. All this was good. Just want to make sure, I had to copy the program from the node. So we don't want the node. Push multiple items. We don't want the node. We're going to push it, instead of west, we're going to push it south, because we want to push the items into this chest. This is a test. So we're going to push you south. Slots 0 through 8. Cool. So we're going to say, every 20 ticks, try to craft, or try to get the ingredients, and if you find them, pull them into the first 0 through 8 inventory slots. If you don't, then you're just going to either fail the craft or go up here. So that's fine, right? For the Rune of Fire. Now, if you succeed, then you're going to push multiple items to the south inventory. And then we're going to wait. And then we're going to fetch items and release. So you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this wait timer here, so that this never actually gets run. So basically it should just push multiple items and then be done. I mean, we might even want to, I don't know if we need to mark success or fail, but that's basically what we're looking at, right? So let's save this program. You know, I'm going to get a new program card. Let's get a new program card. I don't know what's on here, but it's going away now. Save. Card name is Rune Crafter. Okay. And if we put Rune Crafter in here, and we designate the slots you're allowed to use, so you should clear. Yes, that's what I want. Okay, cool. So every 20 ticks, you should be trying. So what else we could do is basically say, mark craft failure. Instead of this, we're going to do a console output. Not evals. Where's the output things? Log message. Failed to craft fire rune. This is testing, remember. Okay. And then we will save this as Rune Crafter. And we'll put you in here. Now, are you going to say failed to craft fire rune every so often? Hopefully. Oh, and I must have moved all these things. Let's get another wireless RF transmitter. Yoink. Now everybody's happy again. You should be saying that you're trying to craft. Hey, I got it working. Failed to craft fire rune. So it's trying to craft every time, right? Now, if I put some of the items in here that it needs, it should still fail to craft fire rune, right? Even if I clear this, you'll see. Cool. And then what I'm going to do is also have it log a message over here when it's successful. So we will say console. We'll say making fire rune. Yay. That'll be what happens when it works. So take you out, clear you. Save, Rune Crafter, cool. and then failed to craft fire rune, failed to craft fire rune. We throw in this dude, and they should immediately be moved into the adjacent chest. And it says, making fire rune. Nice. So I think what I'm going to do now is change this to actually be a redstone signal that does this. Side, yeah, I don't care about any of that stuff, whatever. It should be any side, so that should be cool. Save Rune Crafter. Because I'm probably going to have a timer running, and what I'll do is stop the timer while the crafting is occurring. So it won't try to craft more, and that should be cool, right? So basically what we have here is we test and lock for 1, and we get ingredients for the Rune of Fire, which we've taught to this thing, okay? Then we say, if we don't have the ingredients for the Rune of Fire, fail, and say that we couldn't craft it. If we do have the ingredients for the Rune of Fire, then we proceed with this. So I don't think this test of quality here is really necessary. Actually, it kind of is. Yeah, because we want to make sure it's 0. Because this would go up to the... We might want to try a different operation. So yeah, like we might want to try and craft the prerequisites, but we're not going to do that with this one, okay? And then we're going to say that we successfully crafted it, and that's it. So we don't need to do any of these things, I don't think. So let's remove all these extra program steps, because this is really pretty simple compared to the other auto crafting that you can do. It's like a more basic version, right? So let's move this up here. And basically what we're going to do is cascade this so that we can craft all 4 basic runes. Okay. So what we'll do is basically say, like, if the Rune of Fire fails, let's try and craft the Rune of Water. Does that sound neat? Alright guys, so I've been playing a little bit with programming off camera. And I think I've gotten actually something pretty cool going here. I'm going to tell this that you can use slots. I don't know if this is necessary, but I'm going to do you. So you're going to be in slot 9. So this should error out, missing crafting result. Cool. So here's what I did. You ready? Check this awesomeness out. I set it to, on redstone signal, examine the item in slot 10. Okay. I'm going to change this to slot 9 now because I'm playing. Save. Okay. Store that in a variable number 6. Then attempt to craft the item that's in variable number 6. If it fails, then say failed to craft, get the item name from variable 6, and write out the message. If it succeeds in crafting, say making, get the item name in variable 6. In there. So basically, when we run this program with a redstone signal, reset, clear, failed to craft Rune of Fire, because variable 6 stores Rune of Fire. Cool. Cool. Now what other runes do we have handy? Probably none right now. But there should be some over here. So let's get air, earth, and water. Now, if you knew how to make this, I'm guessing that if I said water in slot 9, right? That's slot 9? Yes. It's probably going to say missing crafting card, because it doesn't know how to make a Rune of Water. But it is trying to make a Rune of Water. See, that's in variable 6. Cool, right? So, if we taught this crafting card how to make a Rune of Water, okay, which is bone meal, sugarcane, fishing rod. I doubt that I have a fishing rod sitting in here. I didn't think so. I'm gonna have to teach this thing how to make fishing rods. Really? There. Fishing rod. Bone meal. Sugarcane. And we're also going to need gunpowder. That has to go into this thing. So this is all in the name of learning how to do cool stuff. Trust me, I'm going somewhere with this. Your Honor, If I may be allowed to proceed, I'm going somewhere with this. And that's when the judge is like, you better be. Not 20. Just 1. And the bone meal makes the rune of water. Okay? So that if we told this thing how to make runes of water, now you might need a reset. Missing crafting result. Right, because I need the rune of water to be in slot 9. Need to reset again. Failed to craft rune of water. Okay. Slot 9. Failed to craft rune of fire. Cool. So the reason I did that, now if we put these in here, and we put you in slot 9, should say making rune of water. Sweet. Now you should have pushed them, oh right, into there. Put these over here. It's probably just that the rune of fire was tied up with other things at the moment. Making rune of water, nice. Because it goes into the slots over there, okay? So that's pretty awesome. I don't mind saying. I'm pretty pleased with how that's looking. So, where are we going from here, right? Now, all I need to do is do a loop through slots 9 and 10. So that'll be stored in another variable, like variables 5, let's say. So let's do that. So I think what I can do, I'm gonna move you down a little bit, evaluate item in slot 9. Instead, we're gonna move you down a little bit, and I think we can do a loop. Test for loop. Loop a variable until it reaches a specific variable value. Make sure to set the variable to the starting value of the loop before this opcode. Right. Okay. So variable set. So the variable index is 5. End index inclusive. Do what now? So I think what I should do is set variable 5. We need the integer one of these guys. Where's integer? We'll make this 9. Okay. So we're going to say the value 9 is going to be stored in variable 5. So variable 5 should get stored with the number 9, okay? And then we're going to loop variable 5 until you get to 10, okay? So you'll do 9 and then you'll do 10, okay? And then instead of looking at slot 9, we're going to look at variable 5 for which slot to look at, okay? So this should say when you get a redstone pulse, set variable 5 to the value of 9, loop the following. I believe it's the following. I suspect it's the following. Green, red. What is the difference there? Loop. Loop, loop, loop. I'm not sure if we want it to be green or red here. Which one includes the loop? I'm guessing it's maybe red. And then examine the item in variable 5 slot and set it to a variable 6. And then do everything based on variable 6. So let's save this and see what happens. Reset. So 6 is not an item. 5 is constant 11. How'd you get to 11? Probably because I think I know why. Maybe this should be green. Save. Okay. Failed to craft Rune of Water, failed to craft Rune of Fire. What's up? Look at that. That's totally working, right? So now all I gotta do is add different runes here. And basically, it'll iterate through them all. How cool is that? So I guess the only problem would be that it would push and it wouldn't stop when a redstone signal gets made. So I wonder if I can break the loop on a success. I could probably terminate the program on a success, right? So that would be cool. So what we could do is say, stop program, right? Stop executing at this point. You don't have to use this manually except to break a loop. Cool. So we would say, hey, if you successfully craft something, stop the program. Cool. I think that would work. So let's save this bad boy. Okay. So that normally it would iterate through and try and craft water and then fire, right? Failed to craft water, failed to craft fire. Clear. Okay. Let's say that we did have the resources to craft water, right? Okay. It should make Rune of Water and then stop the program until the next redstone signal shows up. That is awesome. Look at it. It's working. Are you guys excited? I'm excited. This is totally cool. Okay? So hopefully you followed my logic, but just in case you didn't, when you receive a redstone signal, set variable 5 to value 9, which lines up with this slot. Okay? This is slot number 9. So it says, hey, in variable 5, just say 9, okay? Then we're going to loop variable 5 until we get to 10. The first time through, when it's 9, we're going to look at the slot variable 5, which is 9. So look at slot 9 and see what item's in there, okay? We're going to set variable 6 to match that item. Variable 6 matches that item, okay? And then we're going to try and craft the item in variable 6. If we fail to craft that item, go ahead and just say failed to craft. If we successfully have all the items we need to craft it, move those into that inventory to the left. Okay? And then say that we successfully crafted it and stop the program, because we don't want to try and craft something else. We're already crafting something, right? We can only craft one thing at a time in the Runic Altar, right? Now, if we loop through this again, it would say slot number 10. So let's run this again. And it would be at slot number 10. Okay? There you go. Drop item is the Rune of Fire, right? So every time the redstone signal runs, it tries to craft what's in slot 9, then it tries to craft what's in slot 10. All we got to do now is teach this guy the other crafting components for air and earth and all that stuff, and then we'll be in good shape. So to recap, in order to add a recipe to this trick, we just teach this card the recipe that we need. Place it in here. So now this thing knows how to make a Rune of Air. You get a Rune of Air in slot number 11, and then we simply need to increase the loop to go up to 11. Save. Okay? Now it'll try to make all 3. So if we clear this bad boy and flip the lever, failed to craft Rune of Water, failed to craft Rune of Fire, failed to craft Rune of Air. Da-da-da-da! Now if we simply place 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in there, make sure this inventory is clear, it should fail to craft Rune of Water, fail to craft Rune of Fire, making Rune of Air. Boom! And it pushed all the items into there. Oh, how cool is that? I'm digging it. Alright, one more time, just for fun. We're going to go ahead and, well, I think I need another crafting card, don't I? I could steal whatever's over here. Yeah, this makes energetic alloys. Not anymore, buddy. Let's get stone, mushroom, and coal block. Okay, so coal block, stone block, mushroom block. Okay. So you'll be coal, stone, mushroom. Okay, we put that in there. We put you in slot 12. And then we say that you can go up to 12. Save. Okay. Done. And we're going to clear it just to be sure. But I'm pretty sure it worked. Looks like it worked because it tried to craft a Rune of Fire last, right? Cool. So again, just Joe. Boom, boom. Water, fire, air, earth. Nice. Look at that, huh? And then provided that we have the necessary ingredients up here. Making Rune of Earth. Boom. Okay, so then what we'll do is we'll hook this up to a timer that'll stop running when it's receiving a redstone signal, and it'll receive a redstone signal when crafting is occurring, right? So basically, every 2 seconds, or 5 seconds, or whatever you want to say, it'll check the inventory above it for the ingredients for a Rune of Fire, followed by, well, Rune of Water, then Rune of Fire, then Rune of Air, then Rune of Earth. If it finds one of them, it'll drop them onto the Runic Altar, it'll stop the programmer from running, and then it'll proceed to craft, and then once it's done crafting, we'll do something else. Like somehow we have to get the stone in there, right? But we'll figure it out. We'll get there. For now, it's wrapping up point though. So this was part 1 of auto runic crafting. Daryl20 signing off. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Next episode we'll come back and maybe try and get this actually working. All we really have to do is push it into the Pt1 dropper or something instead of an actual chest. I think a chopper underneath a chest should pull from it, but if not, it's fine. We'll figure it out. Anyway, take it easy.